Hi everyone, it's Thomas, and this is the Happy Thanksgiving episode reviews. Seems like y'all guys all seem to like when I do these reviews and stuff. So feel free to stay tuned to the channel, cause there's gonna be more coming. I promise you. But for now, here are my Thanksgiving reviews for you guys. Hope you enjoy. First off, let's start off with that lovable cat, Garfield. Now, he has a special called Thanksgiving, Garfield's Thanksgiving, and it's really a good one. It's a really good one. I watch it every year. And yes, I know some of you probably gonna say that the Queen of Lions have already done this. Shout out to her. But that was for her Canadian Thanksgiving. I'm doing this for America Thanksgiving. Anyway, the special starts off when of course with Garfield eating, and then he goes to kick Odie off the table. But before he does that, he notices the calendar about taking him to the vet. He he gets Odie to eat. He tears it off and shoves it in Odie's mouth, and then he sees that the next day is Thanksgiving, which he goes shows to John. Of course, John pretends not to notice at first. Hope y'all guys can't see that. I'm sorry for the notifications. Anyway, John pretends not to see it at first, and then he's like, "Yes, I know it's Thanksgiving next week, tomorrow," and all, and then they go and buy some stuff buy some food while the song comes on, and one with the title screen. Now, after that, and you see how excited Garfield is about all the food, because he loves food. Anyway, you see how excited he is about the food. John takes him to the vet, which Garfield realizes because it wasn't the way home. He's like, "Oh no, 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 no!" And we get a scene of him refusing to get out of the car because he doesn't want to go to the vet. But and we have a funny thing where Garfield's like, "You just want to check out the vet. Once you marry her, she can make house calls and stuff." So he says that to John, and then during Garfield's checkup, of course, John tries to ask Liz, the vet, out, and eventually she said yes after she tells John about putting Garfield on a diet, and all, and he said, "How about my house for Thanksgiving?" So she said yes, and said, "Oh well, at least we won't get sick." And he's like, "And then this weekend," and she's like, "Don't push it." I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, and then they get home where Garfield's only fed half a piece of lettuce, and he's upset about it, so he tries to go get some real food, but Odie's there to blow the whistle and get John on. He's John's special helper to keep Garfield on the diet. And so you get this funny scene where Garfield keeps trying to get food, and he keeps pumping up and blowing the whistle and all that. And then the next day, Garfield's helping John get ready for his date, Nate, and of course Garfield has to talk him out of it because John's like, I'm a man, and Garfield's like, "Yeah, well, I'm a man nonetheless." He says something, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not man nonetheless." And there's a woman. Garfield's like, "No, no, no, she's not right for you," and all, and then they have this funny scene where Garfield tries to help John pick out his clothes, and and they find. And Liz arrives, but John's not wearing any pants. He's like, "Thanks, Garfield, for not telling me I didn't have any pants on." I thought that was kind of funny myself. And then, sorry I say a lot. I know. Anyway, and then he takes Liz to the living room as he prepares. There's a Thanksgiving dinner his way, which is he forgets to defrost the turkey. He just puts butter on himself and everything, and then puts a fruit in the bowl as he reads how to make it and all. And then he realizes, after he goes back in with Liz, he realizes that it's ruined, and Garfield gets this idea as he pulls out stuff from Grandma, like her favorite sweater and CD and all that stuff, trying to convince Sean to call his mom, and he eventually gets her to call him with a picture of her, and she comes by, as long as, and gets John to go sit with his lady friend, which is Liz, and as she prepares the Thanksgiving dinner, right, and John gives a history lesson to Liz about Thanksgiving. I'm guessing he's really giving it to us, but of course, because him and Liz know about Thanksgiving. But anyway, and of course, after she's finished, she tells Garfield to have a piece of cake for him, and Garfield goes in there and tells them that it's ready, and they have a big scene of them sitting down to Thanksgiving dinner and eating, and this song comes on, this really nice song, and Liz leaves, and John's like, "Well, looks like my y'all bellies, you had a good time. You had a good time too," and then John tells him let's go for a walk to get rid of all this food, and of course Garfield can get up, but Odie can't, and they decide to put Odie on the diet, and Garfield starts blowing the whistle on Odie like a drill sergeant and says, "Are we having fun yet?" Overall, this is a great and the special ends. Overall, this is a great special. I enjoy it myself every year. I watch it every single year. Yeah, I really enjoy all the Garfield cartoons and specials myself. I never got to see them growing up because, for some reason or another, I didn't really know they exist until I start looking around YouTube for Thanksgiving stuff to watch, and that's how I found them. So, but overall, I think this is a good special to watch with Thanksgiving here and all that, and it's really cool. Now, for my next review, I was thinking about going old school for my next two reviews. First review I'm going to do is that lovable goofball himself, I guess that's what you call him, Charlie Brown. Thanksgiving. Now, I know there's two Thanksgiving episodes of Charlie Brown. I can do them both here if you like, which I might just do that. Now, for the first Charlie Brown episode, if I remember right, if I forget anything, please let me know. But for the first ones, if I remember right, it's when Charlie Brown is well, first he's trying to remember. First he's talking to his sister outside, and she's talking about how it sucks, how she has to write this paper about somebody, can't remember who it was, and she has to go to school, all that stuff, and she was talking, and Charlie Brown is getting ready to go to Charlie Brown and Susie's getting ready to go to their grandma, and of course, as Charlie Brown is sitting down there watching TV, his friend Lucy calls about wanting to come over for Thanksgiving. She of course fights herself over though, but yeah, and invites the rest of the gang over which Charlie Brown wasn't gonna be there, because like I said before, he's going to his grandma's. But him and Snoopy get a table ready and get all the food where he does the beans and jelly beans and other kind of food except for turkey. And then when the gang gets there and he starts serving food, after one of them says Grace is Lucy, I think it's Lucy, was complaining how where's the turkey, where's the all that good stuff, gravy and all that, and one person reminds her, did Charlie Brown invite you, or did you invite yourself? And this caused her to go and say sorry to Charlie and all that stuff, and Charlie Brown gets on the phone with his grandma and tells her she has friends over and all, and Charlie Brown's grandma's like, well, bring them over if they haven't eaten yet, and Charlie Brown's like, no, they haven't eaten yet, and he invites them all over to Charlie Brown's house. Charlie Brown's grandma's house, and we, after that, they go there. We all see the dog and bird, Snoopy, and is it Woodchuck? Is that the bird's name? I never really knew the bird's name. Okay, you can tell me in the comments. But yeah, we see those two with the big dinner and with turkey, and they start eating and stuff, and that special ends. Then we have another episode where they're all with the pilgrims, and they reenact the first Thanksgiving, which I thought was kind of cool, kind of awesome myself, and it's really good special to watch every Thanksgiving if you can find it. I tried to find it on my computer. I can't find it and all. I know it's coming on. Well, by the time this airs, it'll be over. I knew it was coming on November 21st at 7:30. I know it's coming on. Just a little advertisement for y'all. I saw it on TV that it was coming on it. So if you want to watch it, I know I'll be. So that was my second review. I hope you enjoyed it. Third review, I also thought about going old school again. And this time, 90 cartoons. You know how big of a 90 cartoon fan I am. And this time, we're going to be talking about Football Heads Thanksgiving. Yes. Hey, Arnold. Now, his Thanksgiving episode begins with him riding his bike to a play that Mr. Simmons is giving at school. Now, the play had all different forms of Thanksgiving, from when the Pilgrims landed, and set with the Indians, and then the modern day Thanksgiving and all. And during the scenes, we hear the kids talk about their Thanksgiving. Like Gerald talked about football, having Bert contest with his brother and all that stuff. We hear Phoebe talk. Well, about Helga talking about how Olga always takes over her Thanksgiving, and we hear Arnold say that he's never had a typical Thanksgiving because his grandma always thinks it's the 4th of July and all that stuff, and they dress up and all. Then after the play, the teacher, Mr. Simmons, is like, enjoy your holiday because the bell rings, and they all go home to enjoy their holiday, and Arnold looks out a window on his way home and sees the Thanksgiving turkey on display and all, and he gets home and grandpa's talking about Thanksgiving and you know what that means, and Pookie's like, happy 4th of July, everybody, and grandpa's like, yes, happy 4th of July, and they start handing out stuff to do for the 4th of July and all, and Arnold's like, hey, why don't we just do a typical Thanksgiving with cake and turkey and all that stuff, and they're like, oh no, where you been? We don't do that till something where grandma thinks it's Thanksgiving. Where you been? And they start preparing for 4th of July and not Thanksgiving, and doing that, Harold comes by asking for some sugar or something like that, and makes fun of Arnold because he's all dressed up for Thanksgiving, and Arnold just leaves home. In Helga's place, of course what was going on, of course what she was saying was going on actually happened, where Olga comes in and takes over after Milrel burns the turkey, and Helga's there with her dad saying Happy Thanksgiving. Like, you bet it's Happy Thanksgiving. You know why? Right? Because there's football and stuff, and then Olga comes in and gives them all chores to do to help prepare for Thanksgiving, and eventually Helga walks out, and after that, and well, as they sat down to do Thanksgiving, they were, of course, as tradition, they were talking about what to give thanks for, and they all had something to be thankful for except for Helga. And she eventually, and Mom was like, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to something to be thankful for, and Helga just walks out to be. Well, Big Bob says he's gonna send her to a room, and Helga eventually just walks out and meets Arnold. Where they talk and all, and talk about how things could be worse, and look on the bright side, and all that stuff. And eventually we get to Mr. Simmons' Thanksgiving, and looked when they were taking the picture like it was a good Thanksgiving, but the family is fighting and all, and eventually the way things played out, it turned out that Simmons family couldn't think of anything to be thankful for either, and they couldn't put their differences aside and go with the traditions and all that stuff, and it kind of hit home. Well, eventually they go back. They go back home, and of course, Big Bob and the Mariel, I think her name is, was worried about her. And she was with the captain and all that stuff, and she said he was thankful for her being his daughter and all, and they had their Thanksgiving. Then Arnold went back and got ready for his Thanksgiving, which he saw it was all ruined, and Grandpa was like, "Oh, they all heard you were out looking like Thanksgiving, so they went and threw you a party and stuff, and asked him why he was dressed up as Ben Franklin, and gave him the Thanksgiving turkey and all, and eventually Grandma shot fireworks because Arnold was like, "Can we still have fireworks?" And Grandma was like, "Not Thanksgiving without fireworks," and she shot off fireworks. Says, Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy 4th of July, everyone." It's kind of it's really a good show. I enjoy it myself. I enjoy all 3 of these shows, really, to tell you the truth. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. If you like this video, please hit that like button. It helps to share out my videos, get more people to watch them. If you're new here, please subscribe. Hit that bell so you'll see all my uploads. I promise you more reviews will coming up. And I hope you all have a very happy Thanksgiving. And thank you, and I'm very grateful for all my subscribers and my viewers, every single one of you. Thank you for watching my videos and being subscribed. See you later.